friends, welcome to today's video. I am so excited about today's video. I have such a treat for you guys. I'm so excited. So the other day I had this idea. I was like, I want to have a guest on my channel, but we are in quarantine. We are still social distancing, so that could not happen. But I reached out to my very dear friend. Her name is Adrienne, and I asked her if she would be willing to film a makeup tutorial that she would send to me and I could upload on my channel. So I want to set the stage for Adrienne because you guys have to understand what such a treat this is. So Adrienne worked at the Mac counter when I was in high school, and I would always go in there and shop, and she was so kind to me, so kind. She was a little bit older than me, and she recognized this dream and this passion I had inside of me about makeup, and I'll never forget how patient she was and how kind. Sometimes you go into stores, especially like Saks Fifth Avenue, and you're a teenager and everybody knows you're not gonna, be spending a lot of money there, and they don't give you the time of day. And that was not the case with Adrienne at all. She was my friend. She became my friend, and I always looked up to her, and she actually told me about the position that had opened up at the Mac counter, and encouraged me to apply for it, and then I got it. We worked together for, I don't know if it was a year or 2 years or so, but she left to go actually just become a freelance makeup artist on her own, and she had a lot of success with that. But I remember being at the Mac counter with her, and I had a little notebook and pen paper, and I was still like so insecure with my artistry ability, so I would ask her, I'm like, okay, give me a color combination for eyeshadows. If a client walks up and they have green eyes, what should I do on them? And she would tell me CD Pearl and Meadow, and I remember thinking, CD Pearl and Meadow, if you're an old school matte girl and you know those names and what shades they were, drop it down below. But I remember thinking, really? That's such a crazy combination. And so she was just amazing. She did my makeup for my wedding. She was who I asked to do my makeup for my wedding. She was a makeup artist for a lot of pageants. I think she did makeup for Miss Texas, Miss Austin. She does such beautiful, glamorous makeup. I mean, I could just watch her work for hours. She's such a talent. She also did my makeup for a fitness photo shoot that I did about 10 or 11 years ago. She's just that person that when I want getting my makeup done, I want Adrienne to do it. She is so incredibly talented and gifted. So I really hope you guys enjoy the tutorial. I did poll on Instagram and in our Facebook group page, and I asked you guys if you wanted to see a natural look or a glam look, and it was overwhelmingly natural. So that's what we are doing today. There were some of you guys that requested that she do a natural into an evening look. The reason we didn't do that is because that video would be like 45 minutes long, and I would rather do a second video if you guys like this. I would love to hear your feedback in the comment section below. I think she'd be open to doing it. What do you say, Adrienne? I don't know. I think she would. So I will have all the products that she used listed and linked in the description box along with all of her information. You can follow her on Instagram. I know she does like lives on Instagram with makeup tutorials and things like that. So if you want to follow her to continue to get this kind of really awesome content, then definitely do that. And yeah, this intro has been long enough. Let's get started.
Hi guys, my name is Adrienne Pitkin, and I'm so honored to be here on Lisa J's YouTube channel to talk about natural makeup for mature skin. I'm so excited. Like I said, Lisa and I have known each other a long time, over 15 years actually. We met at the Mac counter, and over time we became friends, and she was in my wedding. I got to do makeup for her wedding, and we've just stayed in touch over these years, and I'm so proud of Lisa, and I'm very honored again to be part of this collaboration with her. I hope you guys can take away some really good valuable tips and techniques that I'm about to share with you guys. I've been in the makeup business for almost 2 decades, and yeah, so it's really fun for me to teach people how to do their makeup. So as I said earlier, this is a video for makeup for mature skin. I am in my mid-40s now, so I have noticed that my skin has changed and evolved over time. So I have some tips for you guys. However, you don't have to be in the 40 and plus bracket. You can definitely take something away from this, whether you're younger. And my version of natural may not be your version, but again, taking tips and techniques from this video, I think is the most thing I want to come across. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so prep your skin first with a good moisturizer and eye cream. That is key. That is a lesson I've learned in the past 2 years, is to use an eye cream. Believe it or not, I've skipped it for so long, but then I started noticing dry patches underneath my eyes and on the eyelid. So it is so important to use an eye cream. And I've noticed that hydration has restored my under eye areas, so no more dryness. Okay, so skin's hydrated, all that good stuff. Let's go straight into makeup. I like to use a lightweight foundation because I don't like anything super heavy. I no longer wear full coverage foundation, maybe sometimes, but rarely. I just think it kind of ages me, but I love a lightweight foundation like this. This is Tint Skin from Beautycounter, and it just gives me that second skin look. So pretty. The finish is radiant. It's not super matte. It's not super glowy. I love it. Here you go. And in case you're wondering, my skin type is more combination dry or normal. Okay, so I'm applying this with a retractable foundation brush like that. It's dirty, but I need to clean it after this. So I'm just going in a swirling motion. I like to use a tool so I can get into those hard to reach places on the face, like the sides of the nose. The shade I'm wearing is Honey. And by the way, guys, you know, I'm gonna be showing certain products. You may not have it, that's okay. I mean, we will list these products in the description box. However, I want you to, again, just take away tips and techniques from this. It could be any lightweight foundation, okay? So I'm going to apply this. I do have my eyebrow makeup on already just to save time because I kind of take forever doing my eyebrows. Okay, now the other side. It generally takes me about 10 to 12 minutes to do my makeup, but when I'm talking about it, it does take me longer. Okay. I'm gonna show you a little tip that I do sometimes when I want a little bit extra coverage in certain areas. I do this. I take my stippling brush, which is what this brush is, versus a flat foundation brush, and I stipple it in those areas that need a little bit coverage where redness still peeks through or dark spots still peek through. I do this. That's very, very helpful. And notice I do my foundation before concealer. That way I don't overuse concealer. So like I said, I have my eyebrow makeup on. I have on a shadow that I've been using forever. It's by MAC, it's called Brunch. It's just an eyeshadow. So I have that on my brows. My brows are naturally very light and sparse. So I fill them in with that. I use a brush like this, just an angled brush. And then I did fill them in with a brow pencil in dark. Any dark brow pencil will do. If your hair color is like mine. My hair looks black, but it's actually dark brown. I don't think I do suggest a black eyebrow pencil. I think that's just too harsh, unless your hair is super black and you're more deeper skin toned. But I use the pencil to fill in the small gaps in my brows. All right, so now I'm gonna go to the eyelid. Normally I will use a concealer on my eyelid, but I wanna show you something else. And the reason I even use a product on my eyelid before, like eyeshadow, for example, is because I have discoloration on my eyelid, so I wanna even that out. But I'm thinking of you ladies who get a little bit more oily on the eyelid and you're like, Adrienne, how do I keep my eyeshadow from creasing? Here's a product I do wanna recommend. This is by MAC. This is the Pro Longwear Paint Pot in Painterly. When I worked at the MAC counter, this was a great tip that a lot of pro artists used on themselves and on clients, and we use it to even out our skin tone and our client's skin tone. It just looks like flesh tone. You don't need much of it, so don't go heavy on it. You really don't need much. That's why I like to use my finger so I know I can feel how much I'm putting on. And as you can see, it's evening out and it's gonna hold off any oil from surfacing to the skin. So that way, there's no creasing during the day. It's awesome. Try this trick out if you haven't already. So we definitely use this as an eyeshadow primer, although it's marketed as a cream to powder shadow. Now for my eyelid, I'm gonna skip eyeshadow because most days I do, and I'll just go straight into a bronzer. So there's your beauty hack. Use a bronzer as shadow. And I'm using a bronzer because I wanna have a little bit of dimension on my eyelid. So I'm gonna use Lisa's brush. Yay! So this is her dome brush. This is the 202. Yeah, I love this brush. Lisa, you did such a good job. This brush is so soft. I think everybody needs to have a brush like this, a dome-shaped brush, because it's essential for applying color in that socket. So when you're doing this, go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, windshield wiper, and then do the other side. Okay, done. Now I'm gonna do some eyeliner. I'm gonna use a brown pencil. I think browns are nice and softer on older skin, including mine. I'll do a black pencil every now and then, but most days I do a brown. I just think it looks soft. So I'm gonna apply it on top. When I was in my 20s, I used to use a liquid liner all the time. And I think liquid liner is really nice. Some days I do like to do a nice glam look. Well, not right now because, you know, quarantine and all, like just staying home. But I do like liquid liner here and there. But most of the time it's this. Okay, so now I'm just gonna create a little wingtip. So I do have to hold my eye to make it more taut. And if you don't worry about getting the perfect line application, because a little tool at the end of a pencil like this is helpful to help smudge and smooth out any jagged lines. Done. Time to curl my lashes. This is my favorite eyelash curler. I love its Tarte. I've been using it forever. Had it in my pro kit for a long time. And I love it because it really opens wide so I can get my lashes in. And then I just pinch for a couple seconds and release. And do the same. And release. Now, I want to show you a little trick to make the whites of the eyes brighter. Make sure my hair doesn't look crazy. Use a pencil like this. This is actually an old pencil, but this is Pale Yellow by MAC. It's a MAC Pro pencil. I've had it for a long time. But a flesh toned pencil will be great. A white one might be a little too stark, but Rimmel, I think Pacifica Beauty makes a flesh toned pencil. And it's great for the waterline to make them look whiter and brighter. So I do this a lot. I just think it makes my eyes, the makeup look more crisp. After a couple minutes, it starts to settle in. It doesn't look so crazy. Okay, now mascara time. One of my favorite mascaras is Honest Beauty. I love it, love it, love it. Can't say enough. One end is a primer, lash primer. So I'm gonna do that first. My lashes are very short, but this helps. What I love about this particular mascara is it makes my lashes dark, and this brush is great because it doesn't clump my lashes. It lengthens and separates. I think Honest Beauty came out with a great product. Really, really love it. So when I have time, and I take time, I don't do this all the time, but to go at the bottom and zigzag to the end. Zigzag. I'm gonna kind of speed this process up here in front of you guys because watching someone do mascara is like watching paint dry, I think. And what I'm showing you guys today is something I will do a lot during the week. This is kind of like my signature look. I like this brush too. I have to get up really up close, as you can see, because as I've gotten older, I've noticed my eyesight just kind of, not going bad, but just, you know, just things being a little harder to see. Okay, I do wear glasses. Okay, now I'm gonna use this Q-tip because I did get a little bit right here. And now I'm gonna show you how to use this touch-up concealer pen. A similar product, Yves Saint Laurent's Radiant Touch pen or Touche Éclat pen. I like this one because it's got like a built-in brightener. Click it, apply right underneath the tear duct and create little rays. I usually only have to click it once, but mostly focusing right there where it's darkest underneath the tear duct. And then I'm gonna use my fingers to blend. I'm gonna use my ring finger, which is the one closest to the pinky, and I'm gonna use it to pat the concealer, not swipe. Very key to know that. Pat because it's lightweight concealer and you want it to stay in place. Plus it feels good. It feels like a little under eye massage. And then once this is done, I'm going to set with a little bit of loose powder. Can you hear the patting sound? A little ASMR for you guys. Okay. And what I love about this pen too is that I can just take it on the go. So when I need it for a touch-up concealer pen, it's there for me. Speaking of powder, I like to use a loose powder and translucent one. I think pressed powders can look a little too heavy and aging on older skin. So I prefer a translucent loose one. And this is how much I use. Doot. Oh, someone on my Instagram mentioned, because I asked a couple questions about like, what do you want to see on this tutorial here on Lisa's channel? And someone mentioned Shape Tape concealer. So before I get off concealer, let me address that. Shape Tape I hear is a great product, and it's a product by Tarte. So I have played with it. I don't personally use it. That's only because I like to use something that's a little bit more lightweight. I think a full coverage concealer makes me look a little bit older and makes me look I'm trying a little too hard, so I avoid it. However, for some people it works and it looks beautiful on them. So again, use what is good for you, but for me, I like to use something a little bit more lightweight and brightening. Okay, back to the loose powder. That's how much I use. You don't need to use too much. I mean, a powder like this can last 4 months. So I'm gonna take a loose, fluffy, tapered brush. If you don't have a brush like this, you can use a large dome-shaped brush. And I'm just gonna sweep it. I'm gonna sweep it on the T-zone. If your skin's more normal to dry, you can skip this step. But if your skin's oily to combination, you're gonna wanna do this step. And I'm doing it around the nose, especially the sides of the nose. I don't know why it's a pet peeve to see shiny sides right here. I just wanna get some powder on somebody when I see that. Put it on my chin and then sweep whatever's left underneath the under eye area. I don't do any of that baking, you know, where you leave the loose powder on for a while and then sweep it off. I don't do that because I don't want it to set into any fine lines that I'm already beginning to have. And I just think it looks a little too much for me. Okay, done. Keeping the cheeks looking nice and radiant. And before I go into cheeks, let me go ahead and put on mascara for the lower lash line, which I'm gonna do right now. Which is another reason why I love this mascara, because look at the bristles. It's great for those short lashes. So on the bottom, I go sideways versus down. I have to be really quiet to really focus. Isn't that funny? How we just stop when we're doing mascara. All right, that's gonna be good enough. Now for cheeks. I love blush, love blush. Kind of get a little blush happy. So I did something neutral on my eyes, but I play up color on my cheeks. So I'm using a color that's more peachy, and the color I'm using is Melon. It's by Beautycounter. And I'm starting at the hairline and going all the way to the apples, which is the highest point of your cheeks, and going back and forth in a diagonal direction. So my blush brush is a little different. It's more flat, almost flat edge. So I'm kind of stamping it versus a dome-shaped blush brush where you want to sweep it. I'm sucking in my cheeks just a little bit so I know where to apply it. I want to apply it above the shadow, and I'll try to look straight ahead and show you guys here. I told you I go a little blush happy. I'm gonna do a little bit on my nose, just for some flush of color on my face. And now highlighter. So we're almost done with this tutorial. I have to show you my highlighter because look how much I've used. I've hit the pan on that. Highlighter is kind of my signature look. I think it's what pulls my whole look together. So I almost always never leave home without it or stay home without it. Okay, so I'm gonna use the same blush brush, and I like to start here at the apples of the cheeks and then a little bit higher on the cheekbone. Not pretty? I love it. Sometimes I'll even use highlighter on my eyelids too for quick eyeshadow. Highlighter and bronzer, okay? I don't know why this is bugging me, but I'm gonna put a little bit of concealer right here. Okay, good. Now for lips. As you can see, my lips are kind of dark. They also have this natural brown outline, and I've just gotten used and I've accepted it. I do like to cover it up, and so I use that with a full coverage lipstick. I mean, definitely there's many days where I'll wear just a sheer lip gloss, sheer lipstick, but most of the time I wear this, and this is by Beautycounter. It's my favorite lipstick shade. It's called Brunch. It's so pretty. It's like a peachy nude. And I like to use a full coverage lipstick so I don't have to touch up so much. However, if you're like Adrienne, I do like a lip liner to help shape my lips, maybe because they're smaller, you want them a little bit more fuller, or you just want them a little bit more defined. Then I have a suggestion for you. One of my favorite lip liners is Whirl by MAC. It's so pretty. And then I did have a lip liner out, but I picked the wrong one, but I'm gonna show you this anyways. By the way, let me do a swatch of Whirl for you guys. That's Whirl. And this one's NYX. I'm gonna do it above it. This is Nude Pink. That's right above it. That's great for you lighter skin tones, fairer to light. And there's one in the middle that I do not have to show, my apologies, but you can write this down. It's NYX, same brand, but it's called Natural. That's easy to remember, right? Those three lip liners are great. Oh, and MAC has another one, which is very famous. It's called Spice. It's a universal flattering lip liner shade as well. So, final thing I want to show you is lip gloss. I love a good lip gloss. Just like a highlighter, I think a lip gloss gives a youthful appearance to the face. So I chose a tinted one. This one's by Beautycounter, it's called Peony. But any peachy pink lip gloss will do, even a neutral one, even something more brown tone. I just love, love, love a lip gloss. And that's it, guys. This is my version of a natural makeup look for someone who's mature skin. That's for me, that's 40 and up. But again, if you're younger, you can totally rock this as well. So I hope you guys had fun watching this, that you learned some new tips. And yeah, I really hope you had fun watching this. Lisa, thank you so much for this opportunity to talk to your audience. It was a big privilege, and I hope I can do it again. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to Lisa's channel if you're here for the first time. Okay, bye guys.